Greek PM Alexis Tsipras has called on voters to reject blackmail when they vote in a bailout referendum on Sunday. In a short TV address, he insisted Greece's presence in the EU was not at stake and urged voters to reject the sirens of scaremongering. On Sunday, Greek voters will decide whether they support the terms of further international loans, following months of tough talks with creditors. EU leaders have warned that a no vote could see Greece leave the eurozone. Greece's economy is already being squeezed after the country lost access to fresh funds. Banks have been shut and limits imposed on cash withdrawals, with the head of Greece's banking association warning that although the banks have enough funds until Monday, they will be dependent on the European Central Bank thereafter. Supporters and opponents of the governing Syriza party are now racing to reach voters before time runs out, with yes and no posters vying for space and rival rallies planned in Athens on Friday night. There have also been forceful exchanges of views across the continent, with European politicians starkly denying Greek claims that a no vote will strengthen their hand in the bailout negotiations. If the Greeks will vote no, the Greek position will be dramatically weakened, said EU Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker. Even with a yes vote we'll face difficult negotiations, he said. Angeroun Dijsselbloem, head of the Eurogroup of finance ministers, dismissed as completely false a claim by Greek Finance Minister Yanis Varoufakis that a deal would be reached very shortly after the referendum, allowing banks to reopen on Tuesday. Mr. Dijsselbloem said Athens had chosen a very risky path regardless of the outcome of the referendum, reports Reuters news agency. Several European officials have complained in strong terms about Greece's abrupt decision to hold a referendum on the terms of a bailout offer that they say is no longer on the table. Debt unsustainable. In his address on Friday, Mr. Tsipras referred to an IMF report published on Thursday which said Greece would need an extra €50 bn $55 bn, £36 bn, over the next 3 years to stabilize its finances and repeated suggestions that Greece needed debt relief. Greece's mountain of €323 bn debt was not sustainable, Mr. Tsipras said. He said he had called for a 30% haircut off the debt and a 20-year grace period for the rest. I urge you to say no to ultimatums, blackmail and the campaign of fear, Mr. Tsipras said in his address on Friday. But he insisted the referendum result would be accepted. Whatever we choose. Come Monday we are all together. A poll published in Ethnos newspaper on Friday showed the two sides evenly split, with the yes vote at 44.8% and the no vote at 43.4%. But the same poll showed 74% in favor of staying in the euro, with just 15% choosing a return to a national currency. Despite the campaigning, however, there is still a chance the referendum may be suspended. Greece's top court, the Council of State, is due to rule on the legality of Sunday's vote and whether it breaches the constitution. The European Commission, the European Union's executive arm, one of the troika of creditors along with the International Monetary Fund and the European Central Bank, wants Athens to raise taxes and slash welfare spending to meet its debt obligations. On Tuesday, the previous eurozone bailout expired, depriving Greece of access to billions of euros in funds, and Athens missed a €1.5 bn repayment to the IMF.